concept of Aberdeen Inspired is actually really quite simple. It's about local businesses in the city centre realising that the city centre is not what we all really want it to be, and trying to come together in a vehicle to spend a little bit of money to try to improve the environment for Aberdonians and for the visitors coming into the city.
We decided that it was easily manageable way to get our projects delivered by creating the 5 themes. We had to look for individuals from within the board to lead up these themes. We ended up with certain people with certain skills and certain interests to be associated with the certain themes on a voluntary basis, and I have to say so far that's working really well.
My involvement with Aberdeen Inspired is basically down to the fact that I'm a passionate Aberdonian who believes that the city, which has been done so well economically over the last 20-30 years, really needs to create a legacy for the next generation. And if that involves an effort from the business community and the local council to ensure that we make the city as attractive as it can be to its residents and its visitors, then I think that the aims of Aberdeen Inspired fall well within that remit. We're piloting a scheme which we started in St Andrew Street, which is really looking at empty shop units and trying to make them look more attractive. What we've actually done is we've commissioned some acrylics and some vinyls to actually cover the face of the property, and instead of using the V-boards that the surveyors have always traditionally used, replacing that with nice boarding above the shop, you know, still advertising and still allowing the owner of the premises to advertise their premises, but to make it just a little bit more attractive to the passers-by. With regard to the cleanliness of Union Street, the Aberdeen City Council has a baseline agreement in terms of what services they are likely to provide. One good example of that is the chewing gum machines, and the intention is, very much like the Forth Road Bridge, that there will be a continuous process of cleaning up the city's marked streets with chewing gum. What we'd like to do is to perhaps assist there, which would help in terms of the number of times that the machine is actually put out on location. Where we are today in McCombie's Court is a good example of the work that Aberdeen Inspire can do for the city. This used to be a fairly dark and dingy court. Now what we've done is we've spoken to the landowners, and we've put certain murals on some sides of the building, and also some information to tourists and to residents about the history of the city. And I think everybody would agree this is a great improvement on where we've come from.
The biggest project for the bids and for the Out and About group is around wayfinding signage. A number of cities, competitor cities, have really moved on in leaps and bounds with simple signage concepts to help visitors move around the city. And what Aberdeen Inspired is taking the lead in is to try to come up with a package of signage that will help people move around the city. People will naturally shop certain ways around the city, but that means that there's probably other areas of the city that visitors don't naturally find. So we want to try to give them an opportunity to find those areas, and for the businesses there to benefit from that, rather than just sticking to this kind of core central hub of the city centre that perhaps visitors would normally do. It's a project that will last 3 years, 4 years, possibly even longer. But will be the biggest project that the bids will actually tackle, but hopefully it'll have one of the biggest impacts as well. The ambassadors that we're looking to put in place around the city is another initiative, albeit perhaps starting a fairly small scale, where we're looking to have people dedicated to try to help visitors find their way around the city, give them information, perhaps even tell them about the history or any other information that visitors want to know. And at the moment there is probably a gap there that we really don't have anybody to support, particularly visitors from further afield. So we're looking to try to introduce ambassadors that should actually help that. The partnerships that the bids are involved in are critical. Taking the sort of out and about signage as an idea, we intend to take the lead on it, but it cannot be done without other stakeholders, whether that's the City Council or other parties. But what the Aberdeen Inspired will do will give us a vehicle to actually instigate some of these projects that others wouldn't do if we weren't there. But it will take involvement and participation from a number of groups within the city to really make it a success.
The United Voice theme is a very strong theme, although it gets the least money out of the entire budget. But that is the theme that we use to drive forward the United Voice, not just of ourselves and our levy payers, but the key stakeholders as well. Now that could be over issues like Union Terrace Gardens, for instance, St Nicholas House development. We have to, as a company, have a united voice on how we see that and how good it is for Aberdeen, or perhaps not. But it's really important that through United Voice we are able to put our opinion across, and more importantly that it is listened to by the key stakeholders and the people who are delivering these major strategic growth strategies for Aberdeen.
The Safe and Secure team for Aberdeen Inspired, obviously looking at a varying projects, so from small projects, so if you like things like for the street pastors, helping them to engage with clients late at night so that they can sort of help and support people who are maybe vulnerable. So they've got things like flip-flops or foil blankets to give away if it's a cold night. So small projects like that, but also again aimed pretty much at the nighttime economy. We're currently investing in Windmill Brae and enhancing the lighting there. So what Aberdeen Inspired do is, we don't put street lighting up, but if there's a need for enhanced street lighting, we'll get involved at that point, and hopefully decisions that might have taken months or even years in the old days in the council hopefully can happen much more quickly because we've got funds readily available to invest. We're currently preparing a bid for Purple Flag status, and Purple Flag status is a really important one, I think. Basically, the Purple Flag is an initiative for city centres that you could liken to the blue flag for beaches. So basically it tells you that for the nighttime economy between 5 p.m. and 5 a.m, that city centres are well managed, safe places to come, where people, you know, can go out and have a good time in the safest environment possible.
I have a budget, which is what the levy payer voted for, and that budget really splits into two parts. A big chunk of that budget goes across to Visit Aberdeen, who are best placed as an organisation to really promote Aberdeen as a place to shop, stay, play on the global scene. And then the other half of that budget is spent on a number of projects, and this year we're focusing on 3 projects, an Easter event that we've just run, and we learned a lot from that event. We're going to do a summer event, but the jewel in our crown will be the Christmas event that we run later this year. This year and next, it's been about developing and getting off the ground a website that levy payers can access, and they can have a really good grasp on what it is the bid is doing. How are we spending their money? How are we delivering a return on their investment? So that's now up and running now. Phase 2 of that is to really develop the social media aspect. So whether you're a levy payer or whether you're a consumer looking to come into Aberdeen, what's on offer. So that's the next bit that we're doing. For this year, we plan to run 3 events. One that we've just run, being the Easter event. We'll be launching a summer event later in the summer, in the school holiday period. But the creme de la creme will be the Christmas event, where we'll be looking to spend approximately twice the amount that we spent this time last year, with a view to really bringing people into the city centre. We've just recently purchased 15 market stalls, and they are market stalls that are available for levy payers to use. The idea there being we're looking to create a bit more theatre in the city and maybe look at things like a roaming market or a themed market, and again just doing something different to add a bit of vibe to the city centre. I've been really encouraged by the Jazz on the Green. You know, that's something new to Aberdeen. It's still in its very infant stages. The Jazz on the Green is one that I think can really build, and we do look forward to supporting that again this year.
The thing I always want to get across is it's about the levy payers. And as chairman, as far as I'm concerned, anything that we do must be for the benefit of the levy payers, appropriate projects, money well spent, value for money. And that's That's the crucial fundamental to me. And I was very pleased that the recent retail research carried out by the Chamber on our behalf showed that the subjects that were coming back, or the issues coming back from those interviewed for that survey, it was about wayfinding, it was about feeling safe and secure, it was about attractive city centre, it was about getting around the city easier, dealing with shop fronts. It was about all the things that we're doing. So that gives me confidence that we're doing the right thing.
Aberdeen Inspired is in a really strong position now. We have been going for nearly 18 months as a company. We have delivered very strong projects over the last 18 months, and we're currently working on 25, whether they're just still at the ideas stage or we've just started delivering them. So people, including the levy payers and the general public, are really starting to see results and are starting to feed back to us and give us positive comments. We can't be complacent about that, and we have to continue to work on that and to get these 30 projects out there and delivered.